Hi there guys, it's Adam Martin here, and welcome back to another installment of the Now Review. And this time it's a little extra slice of music goodness. We're going to be going back 50 years to 1974 to take a look at the appropriately titled Now Yearbook 1974 Extra. So I'm sure you're not a stranger to this by now. The extra releases always follow off the main yearbook shortly after, often containing around 60 or more songs from that year, many of them either charted but a lot lower down, some of them never maybe charted at all, or some deep cuts, and some other hits as well. So that's what we're going to expect on this. Let's just have a look at the cover. As always, it's the main cover from the main yearbook, except this time you've got the little extra banner on the right hand side there in the very appropriate 70s font. It says 64 more essential hits from 1974, so it actually tells you exactly what you're getting. And it says collector's edition. I've always disputed this. I don't know why the extra ones are considered collector's edition compared to the main yearbooks, but hey, that's the tagline they've decided to go with. Having a look at the spine, this is presented in the standard cardboard case. Now, with it being 3 discs, it's a very thin package, that's for sure, so just be careful if you're getting this shipped into you. You know, with how it's handled sometimes, the spines can sadly crease. It hasn't really happened too badly on mine, but I've had it with other ones, so just bear in mind, handle with care. But let's flip it on over to the back and have a look at that all-important track list. So on CD1, we're kicking off with Queen and 7 Seas of Rye, which was their first chart hit, I think. I think it got to number 10 or something like that. Elton John's here with The Bitch Is Back, great tune. That was from the Caribou album, I think. Suzi Quatro with The Wild One. Mud and Rocket, Slade with The Bangin' Man, and no, I'd like to think that's not what you're thinking it is. Mott the Hoople with The Golden Age of Rock and Roll, Roy Wood and Forever, Alice Cooper with Teenage Lament 74, Jim Stafford with Spiders and Snakes, a really fun, quirky tune, I really like that one. Faces with You Can Make Me Dance, Sing or Anything, Status Quo with Break the Rules, Cozy Powell with Na Na Na, Mungo Jerry with Long-Legged Woman Dressed in Black, Paper Lace with The Night Chicago Died, T-Rex with Light of Love, David Essex with America, Steve Harley and Cockney Rebel with Judy Teen, Alvin Stardust with Red Dress, The Rubettes and Tonight, Bay City Rollers with All of Me Loves All of You, Gary Shearston with I Get a Kick Out of You, and we round off with Brian Ferry and Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, a lovely track there. So 22 tracks on CD1 there. On CD2, we begin with the Love Unlimited Orchestra and Love's Theme, MFSB feat the 3 Degrees with TSOP or The Sound of Philadelphia, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes with Satisfaction Guaranteed or Take Your Love Back, The Times and You Little Trustmaker, Diana Ross and Marvin Gaye, one of their many collabs, and Stop, Look, Listen to Your Heart, Diane Warwick and the Spinners with Then Came You, The Drifters with Down on the Beach Tonight, The Stylistics with Rock and Roll Baby, The Kiki D Band with I've Got the Music in Me, Casey and the Sunshine Band with Queen of Clubs, Commodores with Machine Gun, a funky little instrumental, R. Dean Taylor with There's a Ghost in My House, Robert Knight with Everlasting Love, The Pearls and Guilty, The 3 Degrees with Year of Decision, The Intruders with I'll Always Love My Mama, Part 1, Maria Muldaur with Midnight at the Oasis, William DeVaughn with Be Thankful for What You Got, Part 1, a lot of Part 1s, Roberta Flack with Feel Like Making Love, and Barry White, the legend, with Never, Never Gonna Give You Up. And no, it's not the one you're thinking of. But that's 20 tracks there. So on CD3, we've got Elton John once more with his cover of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, covering the famous Beatles classic. Sparks with Never Turn Your Back on Mother Earth. Blue Swede and Bjorn Skiffs with Hooked on a Feeling. Yes, that iconic one. I'm amazed that's on an extra and not on the main one, but there you go. The Wombles with Remember You're a Womble, and a classic one from them. Bay City Rollers with Remember, Sha La La La. Leo Sayer with One Man Band. The Scaffold with Liverpool Lou. The New Seekers and I Get a Little Sentimental Over You. Neil Sedaka with Laughter in the Rain. Prelude with After the Gold Rush. Clifford T. Ward with Scullery. Terry Jacks with If You Go Away. I'm not really a fan of that cover. Lobo with I'd Love You to Want Me. The Stylistics with Let's Put It All Together, Diana Ross with All of My Life, Charlie Rich and Behind Closed Doors, Elvis Presley with My Boy, very heartfelt song from the King there, give that one a listen, Andy Williams with Solitaire, Peters and Lee with Don't Stay Away Too Long, Olivia Newton-John with Long Live Love, which was our representative at Eurovision that year in 1974. She did quite well, came 4th, I think, 3rd or 4th. Sylvia Rethhammer with Y Viva España. and London String Chorale with Galloping Home. So yep, 64 tracks there, as it says, across the 3 discs. I'll give you my thoughts on that track list in just a sec, but for now, let me open this up and we'll see what's inside. So it's telling you all the other 70s ones available, so we're covering 73, 74 of course, 78 and 79, so you can get those if they are still available, and on vinyl as well in some cases. And the disc, so we're going with the gradient form. CD1 you can see is the lightest green there, CD2 is going a bit darker, and CD3 rounds off as the darkest green out of the 3. So I always love a gradient with my discs. The logo looks quite strong there. I think that 70s style really works on the discs, so yeah, not bad, guys, not bad. Points there, well done. So overall then, what do I think about this? Well, I've always admitted the 70s is a decade I'm not as familiar with when it comes to music compared to, say, like the 80s and 90s, but there is some stuff I do recognise, you know, like Seven Seas a Ride, The Bitch Is Back, the ones you would expect, like Hooked on a Feeling, but even the stuff I didn't know as well. I really loved CD2 in particular. There's a lot more of like the R&B, the soul, the funk that was also growing that would, you know, eventually help birth the disco sound and all that. So CD2 in particular had a lot of great tunes for me, like the Howard Melvin and the Blue Notes one, MFSB and the 3 Degrees, like just some really solid tracks in here. But as always, because these extra ones often take tracks that aren't as well known, I'd do your research first. If you want to take a chance, take a punt, then just absolutely go for it. But if the 70s, particularly 74, isn't your bag to begin with, maybe weigh up if this is for you, if you want to stick to the main yearbook, or just pass on it entirely. In terms of price, this is only available on CD. It's not available on any of the other formats. So you're looking between, say, £8 and £10 for this, depending on where you get it from. I get mine from HMV as always. They have good pricing. The shipping has always been good to me for the most part. So that's where I get mine. But you can get it from other places as well. But on the whole, as like with a lot of the extras, a solid bonus addition to 74. I was quite impressed with the 74 yearbook on the whole, even though the decade isn't my strong suit. And I'm looking forward to the other 70s years we'll hopefully get in the future. But that is all for this installment of the Now Review. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, as always, please leave a like on it. It really helps us out. And subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you aboard here with us. Let me know down in the comments below, are you going to be picking up Now Yearbook 74 Extra, or is it one that you're going to pass on? Let me know your reasons in the comments. Until the meantime, I've been Adam Martin from AMTV Now. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time for another spin on the turntable.